At Arlington National Cemetery, where white headstones stand like silent guardians across rolling hills, the tomb of the unknown soldier remains a sacred monument. Here, heroes whose names were lost to war rest under the vigilant watch of the tomb guards. Day and night, through storm or sun, they march 21 precise steps, pause, turn, and march again. Each step is a vow, each movement a tribute to sacrifice. On a crisp October afternoon, as golden leaves drift on a cool breeze, one such guard, Corporal Marcus Jackson, stands watch. A black soldier, his uniform is immaculate, boots polished to a mirror sheen, rifle gleaming under the sun. His face, weathered at 32, carries the weight of battles fought far from this hallowed ground. Marcus, known to his comrades as Lion, is no ordinary soldier. A former Green Beret, he's endured the chaos of Iraq, heard the cries of the fallen, and carries the burden of those he couldn't save. Now he guards the tomb, not for fame, but for a brother in arms, whose memory lingers in his heart. Families take photos, veterans stand in quiet reflection, and a group of college students linger near the tomb, filming short videos. Among them is Amara, a political science major with a deep respect for history. She nudges her friend, whispering, "Guys, this place is sacred. Maybe we should put the phones down for a bit." Her friends half listen, adjusting their angles for better shots. Nearby, Walter Davis, a 78-year-old Korean War veteran, leans on his cane, his eyes locked on the tomb. His weathered hands grip a faded photo of his old squad, men who never returned. He murmurs, "Rest easy, brothers, we're still here for you." The solemn quiet shatters as a hulking figure pushes through the crowd. Dante Carter, 36, built like a tank and twice as ruthless, strides toward the tomb. His skull tattoo curls around his arm, and a brass knuckle ring clinks in his pocket with each step. Dante, a former cage fighter banned for dirty moves, now scrapes by on street fights and shady deals. Last night, over cheap beer, his crew dared him to mess with one of those stiff tomb guards. "They're just show ponies, right?" Dante smirked, pounding his fist on the table. "I'll show him who's boss. Now, he's here to prove it. His ego is massive as his fists." Dante's voice cuts through the cemetery's hush. "Yo, look at this dude." He points at Marcus, mid-march, his steps as precise as a metronome. "What's with the toy soldier act?" The crowd shifts uneasily. Mara lowers her phone, frowning. "Hey, show some respect," she says. Dante spins, sneering. Respect for this clown playing dress-up? His laugh is loud and grating, his buddies egging him on. Walter grips his cane tighter, muttering, "Fool's got no clue what he's stirring up." Marcus, though, remains unshaken. Inside, memories flicker, ambush a deafening blast, his friend's final words. He buries them, his breath steady, his duty unwavering. Dante steps closer, ignoring the chain barrier around the tomb. He plants himself in Marcus's path, arms crossed, chest puffed out. "Hey, robot soldier, you too scared to talk?" Marcus marches forward, boots clicking on the pavement. 21 steps, pause, turn, march back. He passes inches from Dante, not sparing him a glance. The crowd holds its breath. Dante's face reddens. "Yo, I'm talking to you." He steps closer, his shadow looming over Marcus. "You deaf or just stupid?" Mara whispers to her friends. "This guy's going to get himself hurt." Walter nods slowly. "Damn right he will." Marcus's silence fuels Dante's fury. He's used to people cowering under his size and bravado. But this guard, this black soldier in a crisp uniform, acts like he doesn't exist. Dante leans in, his breath hot on Marcus's face. "Think you're tough, huh? I could break you in half." Marcus's eyes don't waver, but a muscle in his jaw twitches. Another memory hits a firefight, bullets flying, his friend yelling, "Lion, move." He blinks it away, his grip on his rifle steady. The crowd murmurs, some stepping back, others pulling out phones to record. Amara shakes her head. "This is so wrong." Dante, feeding off the attention, plays to the crowd. "Check it, folks. Mr. Robot, here's to chicken to fight." He tosses an empty energy drink can toward the tomb. It clatters on the marble, rolling to a stop. Gasps ripple through the crowd. Walter steps forward, his voice sharp. "Son, you're on sacred ground. Back off before you regret it," Dante sneers. Shut it, old man. You want some too? Amara jumps in, her voice shaky but firm. Just leave him alone. This isn't a game. Dante shoves her shoulder not hard, but enough to make her stumble. Her friends catch her, glaring. Yo, chill man, one says. Dante ignores them, turning back to Marcus. You hear that, soldier boy? Your fan club's crying for you? He slides the brass knuckle ring onto his fist, its cruel gleam catching the fading sunlight. Time to teach you a lesson. Marcus continues his march, steps unbroken, but his senses sharpen. He's been here before, not at Arlington, but in darker places. A Baghdad alley, a blade flashing, a split-second decision. He knows men like Dante all talk until the fight starts. The crowd's murmurs grow louder. Someone yells, "Where's security?" Another whispers that guard's gonna get hurt. Dante steps over the chain barrier, planting himself inches from Marcus's path. All right, tough guy. Let's dance. Marcus reaches the end of his march, pauses, turns. For a fleeting moment, his eyes meet Dante's not, with fear, but with a cold, unyielding warning. Dante misses it, too busy grinning, his fist cocked back like a loaded weapon. The crowd falls silent, every eye on the two men. Amara clutches her friend's arm. Oh my God, he's going to hit him. Walter leans forward, his voice low. Kid's about to learn the hard way. Time slows. Dante swings, the brass knuckles slicing through the air aimed at Marcus's jaw. It's a wild, sloppy punch, all power and no finesse. To the crowd, it looks devastating. But Marcus is no statue. He's a green beret, trained to move like a shadow, strike like a storm. In a flash, he sidesteps, his body fluid as water. The punch misses, grazing the air where his face was a moment ago. Dante stumbles, off balance, eyes widening. Before he can recover, Marcus strikes. His fist snaps out, a blur connecting with Dante's jaw. The crack echoes like a gunshot. Teeth scatter, glinting as they hit the pavement, blood spraying in their wake. Dante collapses, a heap of muscle and arrogance, hands clawing at his mouth. His scream is garbled, wet with blood, as the brass knuckle ring rolls away, clinking uselessly against the marble. The crowd erupts, gasps turning to cheers. Amara's jaw drops. Did you see that? Her friend nods, stunned. That was unreal. Walter chuckles, a low satisfied sound. Told you? Boy picked the wrong fight. Marcus steps back into position, resuming his march. 21 steps. Pause, turn. His uniform remains pristine, his face unreadable, though a faint bead of sweat glistens on his temple. Inside, his heart pounds not from fear, but from the weight of what he's done. Dante writhes on the ground, spitting blood and tooth fragments. His eyes wide with shock dart to the crowd, then to Marcus. My teeth. You broke my damn teeth, he moans, voice slurred. Marcus doesn't respond. His rifle rests on his shoulder, his steps steady. The crowd's cheers swell, a wave of awe and respect. A woman shouts, "That's what you get!" A veteran with a purple heart pinned to his chest nods. Fine work, son. Amara's filming now, her voice determined. This needs to go viral. People need to see this. 2 Arlington security guards push through, radios crackling. Sir, stay down. One orders, kneeling beside Dante. The other picks up the brass knuckle ring, shaking his head. You're in deep, pal. They cuff Dante, who's still groaning, his bravado replaced by pain and humiliation. As they haul him up, he staggers, blood staining his shirt. The crowd parts some jeering, others silent their eyes on Marcus. Still marching, his rhythm unbroken, a living testament to duty. Walter watches, his face warm with pride. That's a real soldier, he says, to no one in particular.
Yes.
The guards led Dante away, his head bowed, his swagger gone. Amara lowers her phone, turning to her friends. I'm posting this, but not for likes. People need to know what this place means. Her friend nods. Yeah, and what happens when you mess with the wrong guy? They glance at Marcus. Now at the far end of his march, his silhouette sharp against the setting sun. The crowd begins to disperse, but the energy lingers shock, admiration, and a deep respect for a man who proved his strength without a word. Walter limps toward the tomb, pausing near the barrier. He pulls a single red rose from his coat, placing it gently on the marble. For you, brothers, he whispers, eyes misty. Then looking at Marcus, he adds, and thank you, Lion. Amara and her friends linger, talking softly. I didn't fully get it before, Amara says. This place what it stands for. But now I do. Her friend, usually the Joker, nods. Now that guard, he's the real deal. Marcus's shift nears its end, but he doesn't falter. 21 steps. Pause. Turn. The sun dips low, painting the sky in hues of orange and gold. A new guard approaches, ready to take over. Marques's focus never wavers. He's not just guarding a tomb, but a legacy, a promise to those who gave everything. The crowd thins, save for a few stragglers whose whispers carry. Did you see that punch? Guy's a legend. Marcus hears none of it. His world is the rhythm of his steps, the weight of his rifle, the memory of a friend who never came home. In a holding cell miles away, Dante sits on a cold bench, face swollen, mouth ruined. The cops talk charges of assault, trespassing, maybe more. His crew, the ones who egged him on, are gone. He stares at the blood on his hands, pain throbbing with every heartbeat. For the first time, he feels small not from the cuffs, but from the man who broke him with a single, perfect strike. Should have thought twice, a cop mutters, before messing with a tomb guard. Back at Arlington, the cemetery falls silent, the last visitors fading into the dusk. Marcus completes his final march, handing off his post with a crisp salute. The new guard takes over and Marcus steps away, his face stoic, shoulders easing slightly. He passes Walter, who's lingered by the tomb. The old man meets his eyes, offering a slow nod. You did good, son. Real good. Marcus pauses, his voice low. Just doing my job, sir. Walter smiles. More than that, you showed him what it means to stand tall. Marcus walks toward the guard post, the day's weight settling in. He thinks of his friend, the one who didn't make it, and wonders if he'd approve. A faint smile tugs at his lips. Yeah, you would. He glances back at the tomb, its marble glowing under the first stars. This is why he's here, not for fights or glory, but for them. The unknowns, the fallen, the ones who gave it all. Today he defended their honor, not with words, but with a fist that spoke louder than any speech. The story spreads, as stories do. Amara's video hits the internet, racking up millions of views. Comments flood in, that guard's a hero. Dude got what he deserved. News outlets call it a lesson in respect. At schools, kids talk about the black tomb guard who took down a thug with one punch. At VFW halls, veterans raise glasses to Lion Jackson, even if they don't know his name. And at Arlington, the tomb stands eternal, guarded by men like Marcus, who carry a nation's gratitude. This is the story of a soldier in a showdown, of silence broken and dignity defended. Of a single punch thrown, not in anger, but in honor. So, the next time you're at Arlington, watching those precise steps, remember, the tomb guard isn't just a symbol. He's a warrior, forged in fire, bound by honor. Share this story, not for the drama, but for the message that courage isn't always loud. And respect is enforced by those who've truly earned it. Because at the tomb of the unknown soldier, respect isn't optional. It's the price of standing on hallowed ground.